We are 19 days away from the NFL draft being here, and Joe Schoen has already started to schedule some top 30 visits. They have leaked, and we're going to tell you all the ones we know about. That's why you subscribe to the channel, though, because when news breaks, when rumors come out, we get you guys a video as soon as possible. And we are almost at our next goal of 70.5 thousand subscribers. If you love the Giants and you hate the Cowboys and you want free videos every day, subscribe to the channel. I'm calling on 130 diehard Giants fans to help me out. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping in. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. I can't wait to talk about the draft visits that Chat Sports has been informed about that the Giants are preparing to have for the top 30 visits. I do want to make things really clear here. Top 30 visits and private workouts are much different things. I don't know if there's a set number of private workouts that you can have. To my knowledge, you can have as many as you want. Like the Giants flew to Ann Arbor last year on Easter Sunday to work out J.J. McCarthy. But you can only have 30 top 30 private visits where the prospects come to your building. You can't work them out, but you're able to bring them in the film room, talk to them directly, and get to know these guys off the field a little bit more. And we know since Joe Schoen has taken over the general manager duties dating back to 2022, he takes these top 30 visits extremely serious. We're going to go over the draft picks that the Giants have made through these top 30 visits, but I want to stress this. People that come to top 30 visits for the New York Giants, they move into a different tier. When it comes to the draft board, they become players that the New York Giants are seriously targeting in the NFL draft. Let's go back to 2022, where the New York Giants had 11 picks in that draft class, and 5 of the 11 picks all had top 30 visits with Big Blue, including Kayvon Thibodeau, Evan Neal, Cordell Flott, Dane Belton, and DJ Davidson. All 5 of those guys came in on top 30 visits. Then in 2023, the New York Giants selected 4 players that had top 30 visits, including Deonte Banks, John Michael Schmitz Jr., Jalen Hyatt, Trey Hawkins, and they had a top 30 visit on Bryce Ford-Wheaton, who was a UDFA. So this isn't just for first-round picks, second-round picks, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. These are for the Giants to get to know these guys a little bit more and get ahead of the curve when it comes to these late-round picks, especially UDFAs, that they already know all and well about, and then go out and offer those guys pivotal contracts like they did with Bryce Ford-Wheaton. In 2024, only 2 guys, only 2 of the draft picks that Joe Schoen made, to my knowledge, came in on top 30 visits, including Malik Neighbors with the first-round pick and Andrew Phillips, the slot corner out of Kentucky. So if you do the math there, in the Joe Schoen era, he has made 24 picks as the Giants GM. 11 of them have had top 30 visits, and if you include Bryce Ford-Wheaton, that includes 12 of the 24 players that 11 of the 24, including a UDFA and Bryce Ford-Wheaton, have been selected by the Giants. So take these top 30 visits serious, get to know these prospects a little bit more, and we'll continue to do that. But no, some of these guys you're about to see, they're going to be New York Giants next year. Unfortunately, Cam Ward is not going to be a Giant. He did have a top 30 visit with I don't know if they have happened yet. To my knowledge, they have not. They will happen here relatively quickly. Maybe Cam Ward cancels his because all signs point to Cam Ward being a Tennessee Titan. In fact, the Tennessee Titans and Shedeur Sanders have agreed to cancel their private workout following the Colorado showcase yesterday. So the private workout for Shedeur and the Titans is no longer happening, which tells me that Miami's quarterback Cam Ward is going to be a Titan, and the dream is officially dead. Shedeur Sanders is also going to have a top 30 visit with Big Blue, and this is one that I am going to be paying attention very closely, as we all are, and we have been following the Shedeur Sanders sweepstakes all season long and all off-season long, and we know the New York Giants sent not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, not 10, not 11, not 12, not 13, but 14 people to the Colorado showcase yesterday. They had more people there than anybody did when it comes to other organizations and their staff members. The Giants were there, and they were there in full force. And it was to watch Shedeur as well as Travis Hunter. And look, Shedeur is someone that I think is definitely a player the Giants could pick with the number 3 overall selection. They've seen this guy the last 2 years in college football produce. They think, potentially, that he could be a franchise guy. And the Giants, they are looking for a franchise guy. And Joe Schoen knows that he has to go out and find that guy. The question is that Shedeur Sanders? I am not going to be mad at the Giants pick him. I will be happy because we have a franchise quarterback that we can lean on. I am a little bit concerned at this point if taking Shedeur over Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter is the right selection. But I do think there's a world, like I've always said, Shedeur can be a franchise QB. But I've come to really my final evaluation of if you're going to pick a quarterback number 3 overall, I need MVP-like traits. And just to be honest, I don't necessarily see that with Shedeur. Do you think they should pick him with the number 3 selection? Type D for draft, type P for pass. I want to hear from you. Abdul Carter is also scheduled to have a top 30 visit with the New York Giants. And to be honest, the last couple of weeks I've gone back and I've started to rewatch the Abdul Carter tape. And this guy is a freak. Like, this is someone that I think could go number 1 in a lot of different NFL drafts. Considering this was the first year he played as an edge rusher and he did the type of things that he did, that is scary. This was an off-ball linebacker back in 2022 and 2023. And then he saw what Micah Parsons did with the Dallas Cowboys and said, I could do that too. And he showed that with 12 sacks and 66 pressures in 16 games played. And I'm old enough to know that you can never have enough pass rushers. But, Marshall, we already have Kayvon Thibodeau. We already have Brian Burns. Well, what about when the Giants had Osi Umenyiora, Jason Pierre-Paul, Justin Tuck, and Matthias Kiwanuka? If you draft Abdul Carter, a good defensive coordinator finds a way to have Abdul, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Dexter Lawrence all on the football field at the same time, creating havoc. And if you draft Abdul Carter, you give this team an identity. And you put a fear into every single offensive line coach, offensive coordinator, and quarterback every single Sunday. Because when you play the Giants, if they have Carter, Burns, Lawrence, and Thibodeau, you got to protect. And if you don't, the Giants are going to dominate you in the trenches. And I kind of like the sign of that, getting back to New York Giants football. One of my guys in this draft, running back Quinshon Judkins out of Ohio State, also going to have a top 30 visit with this football team. And this is a guy whose tape I am absolutely starting to fall in love with. This is a guy that I think can be a game changer on the offensive end for any team that selects him. 194 carries last year, over 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns. He could put his foot in the ground and go the distance. He could be a playmaker in the receiving game. This was one of the most productive backs over the last 3 years in college football. His freshman season at Ole Miss, true freshman, 274 carries, 1,567 yards, 5.7 yards per tote, and 16 touchdowns. This guy scored 40. This guy touched pay dirt 45 times over the last 3 years, strictly on the ground. He reminds me of a juiced up, and I mean juiced up, Barry Bonds style Ahmad Bradshaw. He is quick. He is fast. He seeks contact. He's a complete back. And to be honest with you, I've been talking about the Giants need to add more offensive playmakers. And if Judkins is on the board when the Giants are on the clock with the number 34 overall pick, I might take him. And he's creeping up my board of dream draft targets at the top of round 2. If you're going to play Russell Wilson this year, which the Giants are going to do, they need to have a great running game. And I know you build the running game with the offensive lineman, but a two-headed backfield of Quinshon Judkins and Tyrone Tracy for the next 3, 4, 5 years is something I would love to see happen on Sundays. Judkins is a beast, and I hope he wears Giants blue this season. Shemar Stewart, the athletic freak out of College Station, the Texas A&M Aggie, he put on a show at the NFL Combine. He's an edge rusher, and I think we can come to the agreement the New York Giants think that they need to continue to add to the edge rusher spot. I know they got Burns. I know they got Thibodeau. They went out and signed Chauncey Goldston to a $6 million deal, but you can never have enough. And if you want to talk about sheer athleticism, talk about an athletic freak, that is what Shemar Stewart is, and that is what he showed at the NFL Combine. 6'5", 267 pounds. On a scale of 1 to 10, when it comes to his relative athletic score, he was in the 100th percentile. He is one of the most athletic edges to ever go through the Combine. A 10.0, a perfect score. His 40 in the 96th percentile. His vertical jump in the 99th percentile. Everything was in the 99th percentile. And then you add that all together, including the arm length, a 10.0. He broke the scale at the Combine. I think the athletic measurables need to translate a little bit more to the football field. I'm not saying he lacked production, but I'm not saying he was overly productive in his college career. Only 4.5 sacks in his time at College Station with the Texas A&M Aggies. This is a guy that could be on the board at pick 34. Maybe the Giants target him, but I would be curious to know why the athletic ability did not translate to more juice and more production. Maybe in the NFL he taps into another level. Shavon Revel, the DB at East Carolina, also has a top 30 visit with the New York Giants. This is a guy that I've seen compared to Tariq Woolen, the corner for the Seattle Seahawks. He is an athletic freak as well. His athletic profile taps out at nearly the top of the scale. He is coming off a torn ACL, which always makes me a little bit concerned. I don't really love drafting players that are coming off major injuries in college, but at 6'1" plus, 194 pounds, and he was projected to run a 4.3 and expected to tap out or chart out at the top of the charts in every single athletic testing number, and his stickiness in coverage, not afraid to make tackles as well. He's someone that I would be interested in targeting. Only playing 3 games this year, again, coming off that torn ACL, but in 2023, the tape was awesome. Got great ball skills, 14 pass breakups, 1 INT, 4 tackles for loss. That was one thing I was a little bit impressed about. I went back and I watched that Michigan game. He was making plays near or at the line of scrimmage very often. And I want a corner that's not afraid to go put his nose in the smoke. Athletic freak. Athletic freak. I'd be interested in him. I don't know about at pick 34, but definitely maybe at 65. I don't know if he gets there. Mbow, the offensive lineman out of Purdue, played right tackle this year. Someone that also is going to be visiting East Rutherford in 1925 Giants Drive to get to know this organization and for this organization to get to know him a little bit more. A little bit undersized. I think he's going to bump into guard at the next level. Giants have a need at that right guard spot or any guard depth at this point. I don't know if you can count on Joshua Ezeudu to be that guy. But at 6'4" and 1/8 inch, 303 pounds, he's someone that I think is built more to play at the guard spot. He was all right this past year at Purdue. This is a day 2, day 3 guy, in my opinion. Lacks a little bit of just sheer strength, but someone that I think can be an impact player and grow into a starter down the line. I like the Giants trying to find a diamond in the rough here. Mbow is someone to keep your eyes on. And when I saw that Ollie Gordon was having a top 30 visit with the Giants, I got a little bit fired up. If you didn't watch the video of my guys in the 2025 NFL Draft, go do it. It's on the channel. Ollie Gordon, he is one of my guys at 6'1.5", 226 pounds. He looks like Derrick Henry sometimes. He really does. And what he did at Oklahoma State back in the 2023 season was one of the best running back years we have ever seen. This is a guy that has a nose for the end zone. He finds the goal line, and he is a load to bring down. The stats fell off a little bit this year. I'm just going to have to say that was the Oklahoma State Cowboys being a terrible football team this year. But I can't unsee what I saw in 2023 when he went for over 1,700 yards on 6+ yards per tote and 21 touchdowns. I really like Ollie Gordon, and I'm a little bit biased, to be honest with you. I've been following him since he was a junior in high school. We've got to create a little bit of a relationship. I've interviewed him multiple times. I've gone and covered multiple games of his. I talked to him at the Big 12 Pro Day here in Dallas, Texas, and stand-up dude, but even a better football player. And it's corny to say, but you could recreate a little bit of thunder and lightning with Tyrone Tracy and Ollie Gordon. I think a running back is something the Giants need to leave the NFL draft with. Because, yes, you have Tracy. You have Devin Singletary. But outside of that, I don't love who you got. Maybe Turbo Miller steps into that spot, but I'm kind of out on Eric Gray at this point. 19 days away from the NFL draft. If you're pumped up, hit that thumbs up icon. We are officially going to be live on this channel for every single pick of the draft for 3 days because you guys have been showing major love. The bosses are noticing, and I appreciate you. If you could, hit that thumbs up icon and make sure you are following me on social media. Now is the time of year that you want to be locked in on my Twitter because I'm going to break news faster than anybody else on Giants Twitter. So give me a follow at @MarshallGreen_. And if you want more short form content on Big Blue, hit me up on IG. And let's go Giants.